Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Developer's Guide. Today, we'll get an introduction to Flutter. Well, let us start by asking a question. What is Flutter? Flutter is a framework for creating native apps for Android, iOS, web and desktop apps. Currently, the support for web and desktop apps are still in beta, but it will be updated pretty soon. And it is really great. You have to write just one code base and you can execute it on any platform. And it's all the courtesy of Dart. Dart is a very simple programming language, and if you know Java, C or C++, it will be pretty simple for you to learn Dart. We'll know some basics of Dart in our next video, but let's just focus on how to install Flutter, and let's just set it up with Android Studio. So let's begin. Okay, so first we'll download Flutter framework. Okay, so this is the Flutter website. Here you can click on get started. I'll put all the links in the description. And according to the platform you have, like currently I have a Mac OS, and yeah guys, this is the M1 chip. So if you guys have some problem like will Flutter work on M1, so this is also a test of Flutter. It works on M1. As you can see, it's the Apple M1 chip. And I want to tell you guys that it is not at all overhyped. It's a very great machine, though the support of few apps are still not that great right now, but currently it's working really great from my previous laptop. Like my previous laptop is MacBook Air, and this is MacBook Pro M1, but it's working really great. And let me show you guys, it's supported pretty well. Okay, so what you have to do is you guys have to download this stable Flutter macOS stable.zip, and you just have to create a folder in your users directory, users and your username, whatever your username is, a development folder. Okay, and then you have to unzip whatever you have downloaded. You have to just copy this code and you have to unzip that in development. You just follow these. It's pretty great. The documentation is really good. You can just do it very easily. And then what you have to do is you have to export this in your path. You have to add this in your path, but adding it into your path is sometimes difficult. Like it's not gonna work that easily. So let's see. Like there is okay, so you just type nano z.zshrc, and currently for me the export path is equal to path pwd users Nikhil Gupta development flutter bin. So you just type this thing in your nano.zshrc. You can find like either you can have bash rc or you have zshrc, so you can find that. It's really simple. You can find that in your in your terminal. Okay, you can see like if you do any mistake, like anything, like then it shows error here. It's not showing right now. I don't know why. Okay, so let's first let me terminate it. Okay, and then open a new window. Now after this all is installed, we'll run a Flutter Doctor. Let's try and run a Flutter Doctor. Okay. If the path is correctly installed, then only this. After the path is correctly installed, what you guys do is you guys just close your terminal and reopen it. And if this Flutter Doctor code works, that means that Flutter is added to your path. But if it's not added, no problem. You can do it pretty easily. Okay, as you can see, Xcode, currently this is showing error. Xcode I have not installed because currently it's my new PC, so I have not installed. I'll soon install it. Okay, so you can see all the devices that are connected. Chrome is connected. We can develop for web, Android Studio for Android, and Android Toolchain, Flutter Channel Beta. I'm using Channel Beta. For you guys it will show Channel Stable, but currently I'm using Channel Beta because you have to switch to beta mode if you want to run web apps. Okay, I'll tell you guys in next videos how to do this, but let's move ahead. Okay, so currently we are done. It's done, but next thing we have to do is we have to download Android Studio. It's a really great tool, like if you have to do some Android development and also for Flutter development, because Flutter is also a Google tool, so it's pretty simple. You guys can download Android Studio by this link. I'll give the link below. I have already downloaded it, so let's fire it up. Okay. Now let me tell you guys how to configure your Android Studio. You guys have to go to plugins and you just install two plugins. Search here for Dart, install it, and search for Flutter and install it, and then restart your IDE. And after that you have to create a new Flutter project. Okay, select Flutter application. We will not be creating plugins or packages. We will be creating an application. Okay, application is like it will be built for the end user, and plugins is like you can build plugins so that other developers can use it in their app. Like it's like a API. Okay, so let's give it a simple name, Flutter app, and here you have to give the path to your Flutter SDK. It should be given already, but if it's not there, you can just browse like this. Okay, as you can see here, you give your username and development folder and then Flutter, and then let's go. Okay, I have included Kotlin support for Android code and Swift support for iOS code, and this is your package name. It's same if you're an Android developer, you must know this, but if you are like a new to development, you must know this. Package name is a unique identifier for your app, just like a web address. So what you have to do is this should be very unique. It should be like a domain name. Like I usually create my package name com n404 and then Flutter app. Okay, until then let's fire up our emulator. Currently because this is M1 Mac, so basic emulator is not supported. So this is the beta emulator. If you guys also use M1, you can find it. It's the beta emulator. Okay, let's make it smaller and get emulator and this on the same page. Okay, this is the emulator, but for now let's okay. So this is your basic Flutter app. Okay, now if you guys have set up everything properly, this page will open up, and here if you have connected any physical device or if you have connected any emulator, it will show up here. I'll show how to run on a physical device in next videos, but for now only emulator. I'll run it on an emulator. Okay, so let me show you these things. Okay, so this is your parent directory. Inside this is your Android directory. Like if you have to do any edits to Gradle or anything, you can do it in here. Okay, as you can see Gradle. Okay, if you guys have ever worked on Android, you will know how to do this. Okay, this is your app folder, and here is the build.gradle app level, and here is build.gradle project level. So like if you guys want to integrate any backend libraries such as Firebase, so you have to give the support in Gradle. And this is your iOS directory. You have to give if you guys are iOS developer, in you have to give everything in runner info.plist file. You have to include your Google services.plist file here. And for web, there is this is for web. If you want to include like anything, so you can give it in index.html. You can include all the scripts that you want. So everything is here. And now pubsec.yml. This is like the main, such as like we have in Android the manifest file. This is the main file of our basically not main file. This is dependencies. You have to add every dependency here. Basically, this would be the first file that would be that would be read by any platform. Like if you're working on Xcode, iOS development, if you're running it on an iOS device, then this screen would be run first. and it will check that whether all the dependencies are installed or not. Okay, every font, every asset, image, whatever you use, you have to define it here. Okay, now as you can see, here are the dependency Cupertino icons, and that's it. Currently only one dependency. Then you can see here you can add images, but for now we'll leave it as it is, and I'll tell you more about this file in next part. And then this is the main file, main.dat file. This is the first file that will run when you fire up your app. This will be the first file. If this file is not present, your Flutter app will not run. Okay, so let me first run this app. Okay, while this is compiling, let me tell you some main thing. Void main is the first function that will run. Okay, in main.dat, the first function that will run is void main. Then as you can see, there is a function known as run app. This run app function, what it does is it just run your app. Okay, whatever the code you have, it will run it. And then we are calling my app. My app is a class, and it extends stateless widget. What is a stateless widget? Okay, so there is two type of widgets: stateless widgets and stateful widgets. Now what stateless widgets are, that does not get dynamically refreshed, meaning like if you click a button, so it will not get automatically updated. Okay, and what is stateful widget? Stateful widget is that get automatically updated. Okay, like if you click a button, so any changes that will be done on the page will show. But if it's a stateless widget, anything will not happen, any change will not show dynamically. Okay, so as you can see, this is the code. This is just a simple app. It will show that there is a fab button. Okay, I think you must know what is fab. Fab is a floating action button. Like you can see in your Gmail app, there is a button downside that you click for writing a new email. So that is a fab button, floating action button. Okay, so as you can see, stateful widget, and whenever you have to change the state, you have to call a function known as setState. This function. Okay, as you can see, we are increasing the value of counter in this function. Let me give you a brief. Okay, so run app is calling this function, and then this function is calling material app. Material app is like the parent. Everything in Flutter is a widget. Okay, Flutter is nothing but a widget tree, as you can see here. So okay, currently it's nothing to show because no application is running right now, but once it runs, then we can see. Okay, so currently as you can see, class my app is extending stateless widget, and then widget build. I don't know guys why this is taking too much time, I guess, but otherwise it doesn't take this long. I guess it's the first build, and there must be a problem with emulator, because on physical device it runs very fast, but because this emulator is in beta, I guess that's the problem. So as you can see, class my home page extends stateful widget. Okay, and this is the constructor. Okay, this is constructor, and then final string title. Then after basically what you have to do is, if you are calling a stateful widget, then you have to also create its state widget, because at any point of time the thing that will be called is the state widget. Okay, that particular state. So as you can see, my home page state, then void increment counter. What this does is it increases the counter by 1 whenever we click the button. Okay, I'll be able to explain you guys better once the build is done. So this part of the code I'll explain you once the build is done. So see you after the build. So guys, currently there was some problem with running it on Android. I don't know, there is some problem with this emulator because it's currently in beta. So I'll run it on a physical device next time and show you guys. But let me show a demo what this app does. We are click on this button, this action button, floating action button, and see how many times you click, it gets updated here. That how many times you click here, just get updated. Okay, Okay, we have clicked 32 times. So as you can see, this is how our UI is like user interface. Whatever you see on the screen is your UI. Okay, so what you can see this is Scaffold. Okay, so Scaffold is our root widget. If there is a widget tree, so Scaffold is at the top, and then in Scaffold there are two things. First is app bar. App bar is this thing like Flutter demo homepage, whatever you can see here. This is app bar. Okay, and then there is after app bar there is a body. What is body? Body is rest of the thing which is not in the app bar. Okay, so in app bar we'll call the constructor app bar, and we'll give a title, text widget.title. Widget.title, we can see in the top that we have given a title. Whatever title we'll give there, that title will be displayed here. Then in body there is a next child layout, which is center, child widget center. In center we'll create one more child widget column. I'll explain these all things in detail in next videos. Okay, then we can see main axis alignment dot center. I'll explain everything, but not now. Okay, then after this you can see text. You have pushed the button this many times, and then again we are giving one text, and this is how we print a variable. For printing a variable we give a $sign and then whatever the variable name is, and then this is style. If you want to like style how our text looks, we have to change the font size, weight and everything. Then we are giving a floating action button. Okay, then we in the on pressed we are giving that if a user press the button, then what will happen. So we are calling increment counter function. When a user press the button, increment counter function will be called, and you can see this function, this shows that function is private. Okay, then we are calling child is what is the thing that we want to show on that button. So currently we are showing a icon, and icon dot add. Okay, so let's go to our increment counter function. This is the increment counter function. In this function we are calling set state. As I have already told you, set states tells the Flutter framework that we have to update the UI. And then we are calling counter plus counter variable. We are adding 1 to it, and the number of times the user presses the button, counter plus is done. And as you can see, we are printing counter. We are printing the counter variable. So every time the counter is updated, it will be shown here. Like if we again do it, then 34, 35, 36. Okay. So this is the basic overview of your Flutter app, as you can see. And I'll tell you guys more. We'll do some practice on Dart in our next videos. I'll tell you some basic things about Dart. Okay, so thank you guys, and don't forget, if you like the video, don't forget to like a video, subscribe our channel, and if you dislike it, please tell us in the comment that what you dislike and how can I improve the videos. Okay, so this is the first video of the series. Thank you for watching.